The Laws of Ascension, Chapter 111, Lucky Encounter. Lorik, Vera, and Nyx Fang clear the dungeon a second time without any incidents. I wish my ray would chase down my targets, Vera says after Lorik finishes the last harpy off with his hunt-infused sword aura. If they weren't too far, I'd use my regular sword aura. But you're getting better. You missed a few times less than last time. Lorik says, causing her to sigh. I know, but it's not getting any easier. I think I'm just adapting to the harpies, so I'm not really getting any better at aiming. Varia replies, practice makes perfect. I've been making hundreds of these aura, and it's still taking me 3 seconds each time. Lorik replies, causing her to smile a bit. I know, but unlike those auras, I need targets to practice my aim. Since it's so dangerous, I can only test it on monsters. Vera says. The two make their way out of the dungeon after collecting all the crystals. Then they set up camp for the night. They take turns on watch, with Nyx Fang helping out as well. In the morning, Vera makes breakfast before waking the others. Are we heading out right after completing the dungeon? Vera asks. Yeah. We'll make it back in time to turn the task in if we do, as long as the dungeon doesn't take more than an hour. Lorik replies before taking another bite. Vera prepared sandwiches with ingredients she bought before they came here. After eating, they pack up their tent. Then they head back into the dungeon. They follow the path up the hill while Vera picks off the harpies. Lorik takes out a few, but leaves most of them for Vera to practice. Once they get to the ruins at the top of the hill, Lorik smiles. It's your lucky day, Vera, Lorik says as they keep their distance. They're getting ready to attack from here again, then lure them out to them. What do you mean? Vera asks. There's a mimic inside. Lorik replies, causing her to smile. Then let's hurry up and kill these birds, Vera says before reaching out. She casts Destructive Ray with both hands. The boss harpy and a second nearby harpy die instantly as the ray pierces their skulls. The rest of the harpies scream and fly up. They fly toward Varia, but Lorik runs out. He takes their attention by firing a sword aura into the group. Vera and Nyx Fang stay back and take the rest down with range spells. Once they're all dead, Lorik gives the all clear, and they gather the crystal. Where's the mimic? Vera asks excitedly after storing the last crystal. It's inside. Follow me. Lorik replies before leading her into the ruins. Next to the log the boss harpy was on is a large brown chest. I really can't tell that it's not a chest. Is there a way to check if it's safe, aside from your hunter's vision? Vera asks as Lorik stores the boss crystal. Yeah, just do this. Lorik replies while walking over to the chest. He pulls his foot back and kicks the side of the chest as hard as he can. The lid flies open and a long tongue shoots out. It tries to grab Lorik's foot, but Lorik pulls back before it can. So it retracts back into its mouth and the lid closes. That's disgusting, Vera says, causing Lorik to laugh. What are you waiting for? It can't move. Lorik says while patting her back. Are you not going to help? Vera asks. No, the item drop depends on the laws used. Since we don't have each other's laws, it's better for one person to kill it on their own. I already have a necklace from a mimic, so go to town. Lorik replies, causing her to smile. Thank you, she says before raising her sword. She's already cast Destructive Blade, and she brings it down on the mimic. Her blade cuts through the mimic's tough chest body and splits it in half. That's tough. I don't think I've ever cut anything else that resisted so much. Vera says while pulling her sword away. The mimic's corpse is turning to mist. That was so much easier for her. Nyx Fang says, causing Vera to laugh. What kind of item did you get? Lorik asks as the mist fades away. She takes a small tiara out of the mist and holds it up. A tiara, Vera says, a little disappointed. It'll boost your law, so why do you sound disappointed? Lorik asks. I just don't like tiaras. There's no reason behind them. I always just thought they were weird. Vera replies before storing it in her ring. They leave the dungeon and ride Nyx Fang back to the capital. They stop around noon for lunch. Lorik? Vera starts after they start eating. Have you made any plans for the future? Like what you want to do? I know you're a wolf pup, but is that something you're interested in doing in the future? Vera asks, surprising Lorik a little. You're sounding a lot like Torvin now, but no, I haven't really thought of it. The only reason I'm down there is to help pay for Leora's costs at the Institute. Once she graduates, I'm honestly not sure. I might take some time to dive deeper into alchemy, but I don't know if that's how I'd want to live. Besides, there's all this invader stuff going on too, so it's not like I have time to plan my future right now. Lorik replies, causing her to nod. Anyway, what brought this on? I was just wanting to ask, Vera replies before they finish eating. She helps him pack up before heading back to the capital. They get back just before sunset. They ride Nix Fang through the gate and back to the academy. Once inside, they head to the task center on foot. They turn their task in before heading to the trading hall. They sell the crystals, but no items. The boss didn't drop any items during the 3 times they cleared it. With the points for completing the task, they each received 2,700 points. Vera gets her tiara appraised and sighs when it turns out to be great. It boosts the power of her laws by nearly a third, but also raises the amount of soul power consumed. It's a high-level gold-ranked item. Are you really that bummed about wearing a tiara? Lorik asks as they leave the task center. I am. It's embarrassing. Vera replies, causing Lorik to chuckle. What? She asks, but Lorik remains silent. Come on, tell me, she says while grabbing his arm and stopping. I just imagined you wearing it is all. Lorik replies. And? You wouldn't chuckle at that. Say asks. And I thought you looked cute in it, though I figured that'd make you more mad. Lorik says before feeling her sharp, bony fingers dig into his skin. You're damn right, I'd get mad. She says before letting go of him. She crosses her arms, and they continue walking in silence. Vera gives him the cold shoulder the entire walk back to the dorms. Hang on, would that tiara even fit you with your horns? Lorik asks as they get in front of their dorm. It has little indents to slide between my horns. In fact, they'll even be secure, so if I move around, they won't fall off. Vera says, causing Lorik to smile. She turns to him, and he puts his hands up. After a moment of staring, she turns away, and they enter their dorms. Welcome back, Sarah says as they enter. Thanks. How was your duo task? Vera asks as she and Lorik walk into the living room. Good, we went to clear out a nearby beastman camp, Sarah replies. I did that once before when I was a lesser mage. Since when are beastmen mage-level monsters? Lorik asks. Since they learned laws. They all use different laws to attack us. It got pretty hectic. But they were all first and second tier lesser mages, so they weren't too hard to deal with, Rowan replies. What about yours? What did you go do? Sarah asks. We went to a harpy dungeon, though the boss didn't drop any items. Vera replies. Vera killed a mimic and got a tiara. Now she's a full-on princess. Lorik adds, causing her to turn and glare at him. You found a second mimic? Sarah asks Lorik, exasperated. Yeah, but Vera killed it. Lorik replies. What effects does the tiara have? Rowan asks Vera. It boosts my law's power a lot, but raises its soul power consumption. It's not bad, I just don't like tiaras. Vera replies while shooting Lorik a warning glare. I, for one, think you'd look great in one, especially if it matches your hair. Sarah says, causing Lorik to smile. See, I'm not the only one who thinks so, Lorik says, causing Vera to sigh. Vera changes the topic to ask about the beastmen. So Rowan and Sarah start telling them how their task went. They lured a group of nearby wolves to the beastman tribe. Then they snuck around back and attacked them from behind. Since most of the warriors went to the front, they were left exposed. They were able to kill more than they expected before they were found out. Then the warriors appeared, and it got intense. They had their familiars come help them. Otherwise, they'd have lost due to their numbers. After a long battle, they came out on top. Then they came back to sell the corpses. Lorik and Vera got back not too long after they did. Do you have plans for tomorrow? Rowan asks them. No, is there something happening? Vera asks back. No, but Master is taking you to the Holy Kingdom for training on Monday. That'll be the day after tomorrow. So she wanted us to remind you to make sure you complete whatever tasks you've accepted before then. Rowan replies. Speaking of Master, she just messaged me a few minutes ago. She said we need to go see her tomorrow morning. Sarah says. Did she say what about? Vera asks. No, just that she needs to see us, Sarah replies. Then we should eat dinner, then get to bed. We don't want to make her mad by being late, Rowan says, causing Sarah to chuckle. Rowan and Lorik head to the kitchen to prepare dinner. After eating, Lorik does the dishes before they head to bed. The next morning, Lorik wakes up and heads downstairs. He immediately feels something's wrong and looks around. Vera, Rona, Sarah. Lorik shouts while running into the living room. He doesn't see them, so he turns around. He runs back to the stairs before hearing a voice in the living room. Why? The voice says. Lorik stops in his tracks before turning around. He takes a deep breath before entering the living room again. This time, there's someone sitting on one of the couches. They have their face buried into their knees with their arms around their legs. They're rocking back and forth and look no older than 12 at most. Great. Another one of these stupid-ass dreams. Lorik mutters as the kid lifts his head. Their face looks just like Lorik's, just much younger. It's the exact face he had as a kid. The kid Lorik looks at Lorik as he sits on the couch across from him. All right, what is it this time? Lorik says with a sigh.